What's up? What's up? What's up?
Yo, yo, yo.
Ryan, you
What it
talking during my
is, what
intro,
it
What's
bro?
do?
good, everyone?
Welcome, welcome, welcome. It is our second episode of Spoiler Alert, the show where we may or may not spoil your favorite topic, depending on when you're tuning in. So listen at your own risk while we talk about our favorite topics. And depending on what you're into, it may get spoiled for you or not. So either way, here's a spoiler alert to start off your day. Laughter and good times are on the way. So, episode 2, everyone. The show is still in its infancy, but we have a lot in store for you. So, don't forget to hit that follow button on Twitch. Make sure you turn on your notifications. Our show will air live every Monday at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Also, follow us on Twitter for any updates on all things spoiler alert. And if you want to see previous episodes, you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel. The handle for both Twitter and YouTube is at spoiler alert for you. That's at spoiler alert, the number 4 and the letter U. My name is Justin Time, excuse me, I always mess that up. Your host and spoiler alert, Time is not actually my last name, but it would be cool if it was.
My name is Scante, and I mean, spoiler alert, this week we're going to try not to dox anybody. I love how last week we had a conversation right before we started. We were like, all right, we're going to use our screen names. We're not going to use any real names. About 30 seconds in, Justin's like, Nick, Ryan,
Yeah.
calling the names in the chat that we now have to edit out of the YouTube video. I was like, bro. So
Sorry,
we'll
man.
do our best not to dox you.
I'm so comfortable with you guys. That's all. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? And I appreciate that, man. You know why? Because it's your boy Big Black in the building. Hey, second episode on deck, and I'm excited to be with y'all, man. Let's do it.
I'm excited to have you here. Ryan, your closet door is open there, buddy. I don't know if you want to close it or not.
I don't give a fuck if anybody want to see MTV Cribs, motherfucker. Let me show y'all Cribs right quick. Big dog. Hold on.
Not MTV. Oh, shit.
No.
Apparently, this is MTV Cribs today.
You know what I'm saying? Got the Debo shirt, big dog. Talking to Debo in this motherfucker, G. Telling you, dog. Hey, if you just don't know, Friday is one of my favorite movies of all time. Classic black movie. Top 5, no doubt.
Top
My
5.
Debo shirt. I bought this a long ass time ago. And I'm telling you, big dog. I wear this like when I want to fuck with somebody. Got my interview shirt, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I go to every interview with this motherfucking air job I got because of this shirt, motherfucker. I'm telling you, cuz.
Oh.
Got my little sweater, you know what I'm saying? Got my little zip up vest, big dog. That's my style of profile, you feel me? Just saying.
I don't think he can hear us right now, but this is not like a
he
fashion
can't.
show.
Favorite shirt. I ain't gonna lie, I got the Sheen, big dog. But tell me this motherfucker ain't sick, dog. Let me tell you. Hey, Sheen cheap as shit. You ain't know? Hey, they got some good quality stuff, dog. I'm telling you.
Oh,
Boy,
man.
let me tell
Oh my
y'all
God,
something,
that
boy.
took like
I know something
1
about some
minute to
threads.
go
You want a
off
shot
the
with a
rails.
G, man. Hey, holla at me, bro. I got you.
We
Oh my
appreciate the fashion show. So you wear one shirt to every interview you have.
Not bullshitting you. Kid you not. If I have 2 in a week, I just wash it and throw it back on.
Okay, well, hey.
What if you're interviewing
Hey,
the
man.
same people though?
Different time, motherfucker. Shit. What you think? I got a drawer full of ties.
Same shirt,
Bro, I
different
got a
tie.
drawer
I
full of
love
ties,
it.
bro.
I
Don't worry
love
about
it.
me.
I love it. You got,
It
hey,
works
as long
for
as
white
you have
shirts, but I don't know about gray.
as long as
Don't
you have a
worry about
shirt
that.
for every occasion, I guess you're good, man.
That's all that matters, bro.
That's all that
covered,
matters.
dude.
How was y'all's day, man?
Anything
How was
from a
everybody's day today?
Street fight to an interview.
I did before. Fuck it.
I just imagine you like buttoning just the top button of that plaid.
That's all that matters, bro.
It'd
That's
just be
all
like-
I do.
That's it?
Oh
So,
my God.
how was y'all's day today? How'd things go?
I ain't even gonna trip, man. I've had a rough day. You know, had a couple PTO days last week. I came back to hell, but it's all good. You know,
It's all good. What about
I
you,
made
Nick?
it
How
home.
was yours?
I just burned a PTO day as well. Just went to the gym, did some errands. Not a whole lot.
I should have used
you are-
PTO today. It was my birthday, and I didn't. I was just like, I'm gonna work through it. So, happy
do you
birthday to me, by the way.
It's your
turned the
birthday?
yes, it's my
Man,
birthday.
boy, hey, man, happy birthday, hand
It's
top.
my birthday.
Boy,
I
I'ma tell you,
turned
boy.
the big 3-2
Oh
today.
yeah.
Yeah, and I feel it
I was
in my
half asleep
knees.
when I saw the chat this morning. My bad.
It's all good, bro. It's all good. So, I did have a question for y'all. So, I was doing something very weird today. I was going through some of my old like PlayStation messages and like deleting them because it get caught up in your storage and all of that. And I came across an argument that I had with a guy that I never met. You guys probably remember this story. And he called me a two-tone shit bitch, and I had completely forgot. And I was like, that's probably the worst name that somebody's like ever called me. And I just wanted to ask you guys, like, what do you think is the worst insult anybody has ever said to you? I'm just curious, off the top of your head.
Oh my God.
Mm. I think back in high school I got called a raccoon.
Okay, that's pretty racist.
Yeah,
Pretty
that's
racist. Pretty
very,
racist.
very racist.
That was about the worst. Like I ain't even gonna lie to you.
I don't know. Maybe I just don't like hang on to that shit, but uh I don't know. I'll have to get back to you all on that one.
All right,
I'm gonna
get
dwell
back
on
to
that.
us on that. Well, let's go ahead and get started. We will go into our first topic for today. We always like to start off with a little bit of spoiled news, which is just us kind of talking about what's going on out there in the world, anything funny we may have saw, or just something random that we want to talk about. So I want to kick it off first. I found this video that I just find absolutely hilarious, especially from the perspective of a black person. And so, Nick, if you could share the video, and we'll talk about it after we watch it. So,
All right, sounds good. Coming through.
it is coming through.
Bro, we should name him something. I'm gonna call him Robert.
Bro, I don't think you could do anything if we pet him for real.
Robert, good boy. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know like how confident I am with you getting so close to me, but I'll get you some more snacks and I'll be right back. Okay,
Alright, stay.
baby?
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
You
Bro.
That's it. Very short.
That's it. All right.
So I
Bro,
want
white. I don't think I ever seen him.
your first thoughts.
Okay. You ready now?
Yeah, go ahead.
I-
Absolutely.
Go ahead, Ryan. You go first.
Why they call that motherfucker Robert? I mean, you don't name a wild bear, bro. Like, come on, man.
They apparently
don't
made friends with this
understand.
bear.
Did they
What was
feed
your
him?
reaction, Justin?
I had a lot of thoughts. I mean, my first thought was obviously like, this some white people shit. Like, there's no way in hell. Like, it baffled me that they were even that comfortable. Like, I want to know the thought process of like, oh, we see a bear that's like very close to our house, and our first thought process is, you know what, let's go outside and film this thing and let's get within 5 feet of it, because we're comfortable like that. So that was my first thought. Then my second thought was they were probably like a second away from being ripped to shreds. I think the only reason the bear didn't do anything to him was because it was being fed. But it was crazy to me when I ran across that video. I was like, this is so random, but that's like scary. That's one of like top 10 fears for me. Top 3 probably, honestly, is like running across certain wild animals, and specifically like running across a bear, because I feel like that could happen in a normal occurrence. Bears live in woods around people, so I could easily be walking in my car one night, leaving somebody's house or something, and next thing you know, here come a big ass bear, and what am I gonna do in that situation? So, but these guys clearly had no fear, and they were quite comfortable with making friends with my man. What did it say? Robert was his name?
Robert, bro.
Robert the bear.
That one guy lost his confidence at the end. He was like, I'm not so sure about this anymore.
Yeah, he was hard for a little bit, and all of a sudden he's like,
Yeah.
what, bro? I'm backing out. Like,
Exactly. Well, that's my spoiled news. I just thought that was a good video to kind of share with everybody.
It just reminds me of the first time that I met Justin, or had like a real conversation with Justin. So for those of you who don't know, I'm from the mountains, spent a good bit of time outside. So I've had multiple encounters with bears. I've been this close to a bear before. I had this camping trip one time where we were camping out, and it was summertime, so we didn't bother with like a tent or anything like that. We just brought some cots out there. We built a fire. This was the spot we would go in high school. It was like way out in the middle of nowhere, so we could go and drink and stuff. Nobody bother us. But we'd made some food or whatever. My friends were like not taking it seriously, that you got to take the food and dishes and put them away from the campsite. I was like, no, we got to do this. And they were, oh, it'll be fine. I was like, nah, fuck you. I'm putting this at least a little bit away from the campsite. So like, sure enough, we're all sleeping on the cots. Middle of the night, we hear a noise. There's a bear right there in our campsite. It wasn't a big deal. We shined a flashlight on it. It went away. But I told Justin that story when I met him at work, and he came back from Christmas break and apparently told his whole family that he worked with Bear Grylls and the what did you say that I was doing? That I was like
Uh,
petting bears,
oh
or
yeah,
I was
I
feeding
completely
bears or something.
like,
You said you some outrageous shit that you taken it like to the 10th degree
I
from what actually
definitely
happened.
over dramatized the story, but that's the way that I heard it in my mind, was that like you basically like happened upon this bear and you decided to fuck with it. Because let me tell you, there would have been no more camping trip after that. Like we would have packed our shit up and we would have left. Like I'm not fucking with no bear, dog.
I wouldn't have packed that motherfucker up. I just would have left.
You
Like, fuck
just
it, I'm
want
going
to
straight to the car. I don't need that cot no more. Fuck the food. I ain't hungry. Fuck all that. I'm
I don't
gone.
need none of that
Get the
shit.
car.
None of that shit.
None of
And
it.
I'm with you on
He
that.
was in between us and the truck. What was I supposed to do? He went away.
Why did you put it in the direction of the truck?
There may not have been alcohol involved. Look, dude, just give me some credit for having the foresight to at least put the food outside of the campsite.
I'll give you credit there. Credit where
Robert's
credit is due.
great granddaddy came and got your damn food and blocked your exit strategy.
Hey,
All right,
love
cool.
them beanie weenies, dog.
All right,
Beanie Weenies.
Nick, what you got for us?
All right, so as you all know from our heated debate last week with some people in the chat, I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan. So I am unsure about how I feel about this, but it has been officially confirmed by Warner Brothers that they have the rights to additional media for the Lord of the Rings franchise. So this could likely include additional movies, additional TV shows, may or may not be in the works. We'll see. So it's very, very early, but there is essentially going to be more movies coming in the Lord of the Rings franchise. It's unclear if this is going to be with, in the Third Age with Gandalf and Bilbo and Frodo and all that, or if it will be in the world of the Silmarillion, which was actually the books that came out before The Hobbit. They were more of like a history of Middle Earth type of story, but there's a whole lot of stories in there that haven't even been tapped by anybody in media yet. So could come from that. They could work again with Peter Jackson. Apparently, Peter Jackson and his two writers from the original trilogy have said that they're keeping a close eye on it. So they haven't confirmed that they're participating. They haven't confirmed they're not participating. We'll just have to wait and see. But I think that if Peter Jackson's on board, I'm at least going to give it a chance. Warner Brothers has been a little bit hit or miss, with their handling of the DC universe, but most recently knocked it out of the park with the Batman. So credit where credit is due. We'll see where that goes, but I'll be keeping a close eye on it for sure.
When do you plan on watching the Lord of the Rings TV show? Because you're behind on Lord of the Rings content right now, my guy.
I know. I need to. I won't commit to a time, but I'll watch.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for
I'll watch
sharing
it
that.
with you.
I know Lord of the Rings is your favorite lore, so I've enjoyed the movies. I enjoyed the TV show. Haven't read any of the books, but I'm sure. Well, I'm not gonna say I'm sure because we know how some of these companies can do with our favorite content. But I'm hopeful that they'll actually release something good, and we'll get some good movies out of it. So, thanks for sharing that bit of spoiled news. All right, Ryan, you're up.
All right, cool. With that, we're going to talk about Hogwarts Legacy. They have sold $850 million worth. I think it's 12 million copies in the first 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
So, yeah, everybody is saying that it's going to be game of the year already. Way too early for that. But I will tell you, it's a very good. And talked about this earlier. They captured the black culture very, very well. Hairstyles, everything. It looks really, really good. Like, if you don't know, you're a black person that loves video games, you only get 1 or 2 hairstyles.
Thanks.
Most of the time it's a fro or like a little corn, little head joint going, stuff like that. And that's it. That's supposed to capture black culture. But this actually captured black culture very well. It's a very good game. I am Ravenclaw. That's the house. You know what's up with it. Really wish I would have got Slytherin though. Everybody got Slytherin, like everybody that I watched. But that game is super in depth. I feel like Jay, when I finish it, I'll let you get it.
Sounds
I feel like
good.
you'd enjoy it for sure.
We got a little bit of feedback in the chat, Ryan. You sound a little low. I think it's probably because your mic might be a little far away. So
Man,
just slide
you
that
know what I'm
motherfucker
saying?
on
His
over.
microphone's
Like I'm
in
about
the
to
next
start-
room. What is he
You know what
doing?
I'm saying? Big dog, you ain't say that. Hey, bro, we can start rapping right
There you
now,
go.
bro. I
Why
got
is
the
your-
little phone joint.
I'd be like,
Hey, man.
oh,
Hey,
I don't
what's
I
up
don't
with it,
understand
bro?
why I'm so quiet. I don't understand.
Hey, man, you can eat a dick. Understand that?
You got to talk into that thing, big dog.
Hey, bro, don't
people
worry
in
about it.
the-
I'm going to have that thing right here, bro.
People in the chat, if you played Hogwarts Legacy, let us know your thoughts on it, and also let us know what house you represent. Ryan said he's a part of Ravenclaw, but apparently he's having some second guesses about that. So we'd love to know what houses y'all are representing in the game, man.
Black Air Force Energy and Slytherin. Just saying.
I do love when they take a franchise and they put like a ton of time and effort and resources into making like a AAA title for it and knock it out of the park. That's so much fun.
It is, man. I'm telling you, that game is so fun. See, this is a problem now. I'm looking at the mic, making sure I'm talking
Don't
to
look,
the mic.
don't look
you
at the
know what I'm
mic.
saying?
You know, if it's
I
right
can't help
there.
it, bro. Like I'm literally looking at the mic.
No, I'm
they
with
did
you.
it back in the early 2000s. There was a game for each of the Lord of the Rings original trilogy. The Fellowship sucked, but the Two Towers and the Return of the King, they made like legit fighting like campaign story games with those that were just absolutely incredible. And everyone on the internet's been calling for them to be remade or remastered or whatever because they were so much fun. But apparently they're all like tied up in some kind of deadlock with rights or licensing or whatever.
Sounds
But
about
Well,
right.
that's like Star Wars. Everybody wants
Yeah.
Knights of the Old Republic to be remastered and
Hell
everything
yeah.
like that. Like phenomenal games back in the day, and then all of a sudden, like, oh, I'm gonna make something new and it's trash. Like, so
there's been a
you know,
lot of Star Wars games though. A lot.
Yeah.
a lot,
And
You
they
are not
continue to
lying.
come out
You
with
are
them.
not-
So, all right. Well, let's Nick, tell us about some of the what's going on in the chat. What houses are people representing?
Oh, we got a little bit of Slytherin.
Okay.
We got some Hufflepuff, which actually is the first that I've seen.
Hufflepuff. Okay. All right. Being different. I love it. I
Lex-
love it.
Was that Lex that said she was Hufflepuff? I lost it. You got Ravenclaw. We got a wife that's Hufflepuff. Is anybody
Anybody Gryffindor?
No
I would be
nerds in here?
Gryffindor. I'm gonna be House
No.
Gryffindor. Sorry.
Griffin,
I'm gonna
Gryffindor is teacher's pet. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
don't give a
Hufflepuff
fuck.
Nah, you
Don't.
a teacher pet. That's what it is.
Hey.
Ravenclaw, we a bartender. Slytherin gets the party started, and then Hufflepuff smoke weed. Like that's what it is. But you snitch on everybody. I see
Harry
how
Potter-
it is. It's cool. Don't worry
Harry
about that.
Potter was in Gryffindor. I'm gonna be in Gryffindor. Harry Potter.
Oh, we
all
do
day.
have a Gryffindor.
Okay. All right.
Lurkle. Gryffindor. Shout
Gryffindor.
out.
Appreciate it.
I hate to
Appreciate
see
it.
I
Hey,
hate to see it.
somebody, what are all the houses? This is Gryffindor, Hufflepuff.
Ravenclaw and Slytherin.
Slytherin.
Ravenclaw and Slytherin.
Yep.
That's it. Just
It's
those
just
four?
those,
Okay.
just four. Yep.
Yes.
Just those four houses. All right. Well, yeah. It's super awesome to see some content, be transferred over and actually, like you said, Nick, be very well done. It makes me again go back to The Last of Us. I know we talked about it last episode, but they're doing a fantastic job. This most recent episode was great. Not going to give any spoilers. You don't have to worry about that. But I will just say, like, the fact that they actually took the DLC and incorporated it into the game. Incorporated into the show. Like, it's just, man, they're killing it right now. So I have nothing but great things to say about that show. But that's just what it reminded me of when you take content from another media and you make it great in some other area and you actually do your due diligence with it. So,
Dude, and they've even nailed, like, there was something that the game did that I noticed, and the show is doing the same thing, where the way that they get you emotionally invested in these characters and, like, the
Good
shit that they're
God,
going through
yes.
is by giving you just these little, like, nuggets of, like, little bit of happiness, a little bit of peace, like a little bit of respite, and then like some shit will happen, and
They
it's
just
it's just this
rip it
rhythm of
from-
like you get through it, they fucking like grind or whatever it is to get through the bullshit, and then they get this like brief moment, and then it's just right back into the shit again, and it just
They
takes you
snatch it
along
from
with
them.
it. The game and the show have both done an excellent job.
Yep, big facts, big facts. Well, I think this is a great segue to our next topic. So we do want to talk video games. We just not too long ago wrapped up 2022, and I believe that was a great year for gaming. So we kind of want to talk about some of the games that we've come across in the past year. So I think we're all kind of going to give our favorite game, best game, and then worst game of 2022. So I'll kick it off. Favorite game. This is maybe surprising to a few folks, but Madden 23. It has by far been my favorite game for probably the past like 6 months. And here's the reason why. So Madden pissed me off about 12, 13 years ago, and I said I refused to buy this game ever again because it had just gotten so bad. And then this year, one of my brothers convinced both me and Ryan to get it. And man, we have had so much fun playing that game. We all get to be on the same team with each other, so the three of us, we can play together against other people on the same team. And that's just been really great to kind of sit there and do that and talk different strategies and actually like play football, especially during football season when everything's been going on. So that game just personally for me is my favorite game. Not going to say it's like the best game out there, but it's been a favorite for me for 2022. Best game. I'm going to have to go with God of War Ragnarok. I think they did a phenomenal job with that sequel. They took everything that was great about the first game and they made it even better in the second. The things that stood out to me the most was the story was really, really good, very well done. It was very emotional. There were a lot of moments in that game where I was like, I don't really know exactly how this is going to go. And they kind of keep you on the edge of your seat. And then, of course, the combat mechanics. I have to give a shout out to them because when you think about the original God of War games, very much hack and slashes, right? Like that was kind of the point. And back then, that was awesome. That was something that we're into. I refuse to play hack and slashes now. And so I think they did a really good job with like coming up with very strategic ways in which you have to use your weapons and you have to fight in that game. So best game for me of 2022, God of War Ragnarok. I will give an honorable mention to Elden Ring. I know that game was huge. A lot of people loved it. I did not personally play it, so I can't, talk about it in detail. But I did feel like I should mention that game just because, it was a phenomenal game according to reviews and people. So I wanted to mention that. And then worst game. I'm going to have some people in the chat a little salty, but I got to go with Warzone 2. That game is just complete ass in my personal opinion. I'm so disappointed. I hyped all of my friends up. We were so excited for Warzone 2. I was like, it's just going to be like the first one. They're going to get back to what was great about it. And like, we're going to have a grand time. And it has probably absolutely been the worst experience of my like video gaming life for the past few months. Anytime any of our friends in the chat are like, let's play Call of Duty Warzone, I just like roll my eyes and I'm just like, I don't want to play this shit. But I do play it sometimes just because it's the only game right now where we can play like 4 or 5 people at a time. But that's got to go worst game for me. They just did a really, really poor job. They released probably 30% of a finished game in my personal opinion. So those are my best, favorite, and worst games of 2022. So love to know your thoughts in the chat. Let me know your comments, how you feel about my suggestions or my recommendations there. Nick, I'll kick it over to you.
Actually, I want to visit the chat before we depart from yours because you ruffled some feathers for sure.
Sure, I did.
Omega Blade just says snooze. I assume he was talking about maybe Madden,
probably.
I guess. And then he said it's probably your favorite because you got because it feels good to rack up wins after we get clapped all night in Warzone. And somebody else said you're just mad because you can't get no wins. Which was going to be my reaction to Madden.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, you're
the
right.
Eagles can't win in real life. You can win with them in Madden.
Oh, shots fired. Did better than the Panthers. Anyways. Yeah, you're probably right. Like, I think we've maybe won like 2 or 3 games in like Warzone. So yeah, the fact that I'm not winning probably doesn't help. But I still probably would say it's a shitty game. It just doesn't feel good to play like it used to. So just my personal opinion.
I enjoyed the multiplayer. I enjoyed playing with y'all for, a couple of months. And there were some things that I didn't like about the unlock system and stuff. It's still a Call of Duty multiplayer, like at its core at the end of the day. But, fun, can be entertaining for a little while. Despair asks, what happened to Siege? Siege was not released in 2022. These are games that were released in 2022, unless you want to count the Extraction event, which is listed as a game that was released in 2022. I don't personally count that. We didn't play it, so we could put that on the worst if you really want it. If you really want us
We didn't
It
play
looked
it because
good.
we
It
thought
did
it was
not
going to be on the worst. So
Basically, Siege releases like a zombie type event every year or so, and it's just like, okay, you're getting some cool skins out of it. We stopped playing the actual zombie mode a while ago.
yeah, Siege is
Um,
like our ex-girlfriend that we can't get over. Like we'll leave her for a little while, and then we'll play some other games and realize that they're super shitty, and then we'll just go back to Siege. It's just a
and we'll
constant like
remember
cycle
all the
of
good
violence.
times we had.
Exactly. So, but yeah,
And
Nick,
we'll
you're
go
right.
back to it,
Outrageous
and it hurt,
Nick is
and it hurts our feelings when we go back. I'm like, oh yeah, this is what I.
This is why we
what
left.
this was like.
Exactly. Yeah, Nick, you're right. Like Modern Warfare 2, like the actual like multiplayer was fun. But that pissed me off because we paid $70 for that. Warzone was free and it's ass. And we paid $70 for the multiplayer and they're not even releasing any more content for it. They're only basically focused on Warzone 2. So a lot of people are upset about that because it's like you put all your time and effort into the free game and don't even care about the people who actually spent money buying Modern Warfare 2. I could get on my pedestal and high horse about Modern Warfare 2 and Call of Duty probably for the next 30 minutes, but I'm not going to do that. Nick, I want to hear what your favorite and best and worst games are for 2022.
All right, so this is one where y'all are gonna rip me to shreds on this
Okay.
because I literally had to pull up a list of games that were released in 2022 to figure out. I just apparently don't play that many new games, and I
Don't feel bad.
have played maybe 3 of the games on this list. So based off of my experience with the first God of War, I will give you God of War Ragnarok. I have not heard anything but glowing things about that. They killed it with the first one. I'm sure they killed it with this one, and I will be playing it soon. Elden Ring, I tried. I gave it like 2 days, and I was like, okay, I see why this is a good game. I understand why people like this. I don't have the time for this game. I don't have time to get good at this game and figure out all the frames and the dodges and everything and just sit there and die over and over and over and over again. I just don't have the patience or the time for it. But I can see that it was a well-crafted game, and I respect the people who had the dedication to do that. Maybe I'll get back onto it at some point. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge. We
Okay.
played it at our buddy Corey's house, and that was a surprisingly fun game, dude. You could have people jump in and out. It reminded me of those like old arcade side-scroller arcade
Yeah.
games that you'd play when we were kids at like, arcades and stuff like that. We spent like a whole afternoon just like drinking and playing that game. That was a lot of fun.
Yup.
There's a couple on here that are on my list for sure. Dying Light 2, Callisto Protocol, even though I've heard mixed things about that. I'd be curious if anybody in the chat actually, has anyone played Callisto Protocol? And if so, let me know what they thought.
Worst
But
game
yeah,
of 2022.
I was just apparently slacking all of 2022 and didn't play any new games.
All right. Do you have a worst game? It doesn't even have to be one you played. Just something that you've heard is like, I heard this game was ass.
Stray. I think that looks fucking stupid. Like, what? I'm sorry.
hey,
I don't
Hey,
see
you don't
the
wanna walk
appeal.
around
You might
No.
you might get some
I'm
hate
gonna get
going
some
on in the
hate
chat because people love
To
that
each
game.
their own, but I don't know.
I'm
don't
with
see
you.
it.
No. I'm 100% with you. I do not see the appeal in that. Games like that and the freaking like simulators where you can like power wash your house. Like, why the fuck do I want to play a game
mow my
where
own
I can
yard,
do
big dog.
something that I have to do in the real world? Absolutely not. So yeah, I'm
Farming
with you.
simulator?
Yeah, farming simulator. All of that shit can go either way. I think Lex plays simulator games, so we're probably like hating on her hard right now. Apologies.
Oh
but-
no, Despair is getting real upset about my hate for the cat game. Sorry, not sorry.
Good old Stray. I mean, it's literally a game where you get to play as a cat. So I guess if you love cats, then that might appeal to
There's
you.
a story.
Oh, okay, all right. I'm sure there is, and I'm sure it's great.
Also, somebody says your ads are crazy.
My ads are crazy.
Yeah, I think we was talking during the ad break.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
If you subscribe, the ads won't be there. No. I mean, I'm not saying it to like make you spend. It's just like if you're not subscribed, like you're gonna have ads. Like there's nothing I can do
Yeah.
about that. So apologies about that. All right, big dog, we on to you, man. Your best, favorite, and worst game of 2022.
I got you. My favorite is a part of a game. It is an expansion. Final Fantasy 14 Endwalker has to be the best expansion I've played on that whole game. I started it with A Realm Reborn probably about, I don't know, 6, 7 years ago. Like I've been playing that game for a hot one. Played through Heaven's Ward, played through Stormblood, um,
Those are all DLCs.
Shadowbringers. Yeah, those are all
Okay.
DLCs.
Yep.
Shadowbringers, and then the last one was Endwalker. Endwalker had to have told the best story, has the best graphics. Introduced 2 new classes, and I actually main one of them called Reaper. Reaper's like phenomenal. Like you feel like a freaking god. It's awesome. Um, Elden Ring has to be the best game. I'm just
Okay.
gonna tell you right now. I watched so many people
Alright.
play Elden Ring, and Elden Ring is awesome, man. Like Nick, when you pick it back up, I feel like you'll enjoy it. But you do have to dedicate some time. That's the
Yeah.
problem. And that's the thing about Elden Ring. That's the thing about fantasy. If you don't like to grind, like MMOs or like just big RPGs like Elden Ring, stuff like that, if you cannot grind, if you can't sit for hours, grind good gear, grind skills, all this stuff, you're not going to.
Yeah.
That's just one of those things because you have to put time into it. Luckily, once you finish like a game like Final Fantasy, like once you get to the end game portion, that pause for a little bit, it's literally like, oh, I'm gonna do this dungeon, I'm gonna grab a couple pieces, and I'm gonna log off. But when you're first starting, you grind because you can't get into some of those dungeons and certain item level stuff like that. So, worst game, I'm going with Justin, man. Warzone 2 was like horrible. Like, and here's the thing, and he said it. He literally told everyone, get the game. We're gonna play the game.
Dude, he bought it
Attack's
for
gonna
me.
Be awesome.
He bought
you see
the game
what I'm saying?
for me.
Like Cyber Attack's gonna be
He wanted
awesome.
me-
They
He
didn't
was
even
so
have Cyber.
excited for this. He was like, Nick, play this game, or if you play this with us, I will buy it for you.
Exactly.
Man.
Wasting my
I'm
damn
telling
time.
you, dog. And I'll tell you why. Time to kill. Honestly speaking, if they fix time to kill, we would be
Yeah.
fine.
It would.
That's
It would
that's
be,
my
yeah.
biggest gripe. I turn a corner and I die. Now, realistically, if I turn a corner and get shot, I'm gonna die. But this is a video game. It's not supposed to be realistic. So
Yeah.
I mean, like I'm telling you right now, it's so punishing. Like you have to see somebody first, and you have to get the jump on them. If you don't, you're dead. And I think that's so stupid. So
Yeah. It's right now it feels like it's designed more for noobs than people with actual like skill. Because it makes no sense that like you can just get absolutely melted within the blink of an eye. It's just like you don't even have time to react, and it's frustrating as hell. So yeah, we clearly are in agreement there. All right, chat. Would love to know your thoughts. Favorite games of 2022, worst games of 2022, best games of 2022. I feel like 2022 was a pretty good year for the gaming industry. I think 2023 is going to be big too. There's a lot of good games coming out. I'm thinking about like the new Jedi Fallen Order follow up, Survivor. They're remaking Resident Evil 4. Those are the 2 off the top of my head that I'm like super excited about. I know Street Fighter, what is it, 6 or 7? Street Fighter, one of those. Street Fighter 6 or 7. I can't remember which one. A new Mortal Kombat's
Omega
coming
Blade will
out.
know.
So there're going to be a lot of really good games this year that I'm excited for. So
Oh, we do have a question. Any worthy VR games? Been out of the loop since Beat Saber. I think I'm the only one still playing VR, probably.
And that is a great question to segue us into our next topic. Nick was actually going to discuss VR. So we appreciate the question. You teed that up perfectly. So take it away, Nick.
All right. Yeah. So I was a surprise fan of VR. I'll just give like a quick personal history here. Again, we were at our buddy Corey's house. He had the Quest 2. I've always been kind of like, yeah, VR be cool, but the barriers to entry have been very high. You need a gaming PC that's going to cost you at least $800 to $1,000. The headsets themselves were $500, $600, $700, $800, depending on what brand you got. Quest just like rocked the boat by coming in at a $300 wireless. You don't need a PC. You don't need to wire anything up. You literally stick the thing on your head, push a button, and go. And then with the added benefit of being able to still hook it up to a PC, I do have a gaming PC, and play Steam VR games, like no brainer. And I've been sold ever since. Most of my games now I spend on PC, Steam VR games. I don't play too many of their standalone titles, but notably VTOL VR, which is a fighter jet sim, and then of course Half-Life Alyx, which I think is probably my favorite game of the last 5 years, easily. So I wanted to give like a quick rundown of a brief history of VR, what currently is out there as far as your market options go, and then what the future holds. So VR as we know it hasn't been or has been around a little bit longer than most people would think. So of course there were like military, government, industrial applications all throughout the 1900s. But the first like commercial gaming VR was in 1994 when Sega released something called the Victor Max, um, which is a motion simulator arcade machine, and it had a VR headset called CyberMax. In and out. I'm not going to give you like a whole detailed thing. You've got Google. You had some of the early Oculus stuff. Justin, I remember you had one where it was from Samsung. You put your phone in the headset and it would like do the motion tracking. That was pretty cool. In 2014, Facebook bought Oculus for $2 billion. And that was kind of a big moment in VR's history because for the first time, they actually had the financial backing to make an affordable, accessible VR platform that wasn't something that only super rich tech nerds could afford. Fast forward a few years, your current options, you got, the HTC Vive, you've got Steam's VR headset, there is the PlayStation VR. I don't know, does Xbox have one? I don't think they do.
I'm not even sure.
Yeah. But long story short, there's a lot of options out there right now, most of which are still on the higher end of the spectrum, but slowly coming down, slowly getting better, slowly getting more affordable, with the Oculus Quest 2 still being, I think, the most dominant one in the marketplace. And that's been out since 2020. So one thing that I did think was interesting is that the PlayStation is going to be releasing a VR headset specifically for the PS5. That is set to come out this year. Actually, I think it's coming out this week. I need to double check my date there. But this is a PlayStation VR 2. It's a sequel to their original headset. It only works with the PS5. $550. So it's literally more than a PS5 console.
Wow.
Oh, that ain't get. Dude,
Like,
you pay $1,100 for that? Like,
you
what?
gotta wonder what they were thinking with that for sure. You also still have to be tethered to your console, not wireless again. So
That sounds like a lot
yeah,
for $550.
it is,
I'm
and
not
I'm
doing
sure
it.
it's great.
I'm
It
not
does
doing
have an OLED display. It has vibrating controllers. It has eye tracking, which is a feature that I'm really, really excited about. For those of you who aren't familiar with what eye tracking is, the applications for that are crazy. You're talking about navigating menus without your hands. You're talking about aiming guns. You're talking about user interfaces that like we can't even get our heads around yet. Eye
That
tracking
man
is something
geeking,
that
bro.
I've been watching it for a while. They've made like little things you can do on your computer, like little it looks like a webcam. You set it up on your monitor and it tracks your eyes and stuff. But they haven't really been great, and they haven't really had gaming applications until now. So I know that there's some initial things that are like, but I think it's got some really high potential. And then if they don't bring their price down or make it more accessible, I think it will set a better industry standard for like the Oculus Quest 3, which I'm really, really looking forward to. So all this to say, if you're ever unsure about VR, find somebody with a Quest 2, just give it a try. It's one of those things that you really can't understand it until you try it. This happened with me. This happened with friends. Hell, I put it on my dad and he like freaked. My dad was like, no, I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't want to. Put it on my dad and he was just like, oh my gosh, you have to see this. So like, give it a try. You'll be surprised. And you can get over the motion sick. If you're somebody who gets motion sick, you can get over it like relatively quickly. Just expose yourself to it a little
I
bit
think
at
that's
a time.
the big thing.
But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. I know that's a big thing for me. Like the motion sickness. Like it's never experienced motion sickness like anywhere else. But like when I put that headset on, like after about like 20 or 30 minutes, it's just like I get dizzy. And I think it's something like there's a stat out there, and Nick, you'll probably be able to find it. But it's like I want to say like 62% of people who like use VR headsets experience like the motion sickness, and they do say it gets better with time. But I know some people don't even want to like take the time to to get comfortable with it because it's such a like a woozy experience for them. So I think that's probably one of the biggest challenges for the headsets right now. And then of course like the price, like it's ridiculous that the VR headset is going to cost more than the PlayStation, and you have to buy the PlayStation in order to have the headset. So you got to spend close to like Ryan said, 12 grand, or excuse me, not 12 grand, 1200, which at that point you could just buy you a PC and go that route. So yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So the interesting thing about the games, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but okay, I want to tell this interesting fact, or at least it's interesting to me. The reason you get motion sickness, at least the leading theory, is that there is a poison in like the rainforest of the Amazon or something like that that throws off your sense of balance in, what is it, like the cochlear thing in your ear that has there's a organ in your ear that has fluid in it and a bunch of little hairs, and that's how it detects the orientation of your body, essentially, by the level of that fluid and the hair, since it is like deep inside your ear. There's a poison that throws that off, and that people think is what makes you motion sick, is because when what your eyes are seeing and thinking that your body should be doing is not what that organ is feeling, it thinks, I'm being poisoned, I gotta throw up. So all that to say, there are VR games like Beat Saber where your body is staying still, anything where you're standing still at a table and doing something, those you should be fine on. It's ones like the flight sims, like the ones where you're moving around, you're walking, you're jumping, and that's when it starts getting wonky. And that's the one you just got to slowly expose yourself. It took me about 2 weeks.
I'm glad you
Did you
explained
say-
that, because originally when you said a poison in the rainforest, I was like, I don't live
Exactly.
in the motherfucking rainforest. But you're saying there is a poison in the rainforest that if I was there would throw off my motion and make me motion sick. And my body when playing, or my mind, whatever you want to say, when I'm playing the VR headset, it almost simulates that. And that's what it thinks is happening. And so, okay, all right. Now I
The
understand. that.
theory is that it's like an evolutionary thing. Like your body knows somewhere back in your genetic memory that this is a poison and this is bad.
Oh, all right. Well, I appreciate that. You taught me something today, big dog. I'm about to tell people, look,
Boy,
I can't play.
something new
I
every
can't
day.
play that VR
Somebody
headset
check me.
because they cutting down the rainforest right now, and the poison gas they releasing in the air. Save the trees, bro. Save the trees. So.
If you can get used to it, though, the games out there are so amazing, like the flight games and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, they're a
if you
shit
can get
ton of
used to
fun.
it, it's amazing.
Yeah, the games are a ton of fun. I can't play them for long. I think the best one that I've played for me is freaking ping pong, like table tennis, because you don't have to do like a lot of moving, and I can just like kind of stand in one spot. And I've had hours of fun playing that shit. But like you said, the shooting ones and stuff where you have to like turn your head and like look around, you got maybe 15, 20 minutes out of me, dog. And then I was like, I got to take it off. So.
Those are fun though. What was that shooter that we played? It was some shooter that we played.
Super
And I had
Hot,
so much fun
or
playing.
the John Wick one. I can't remember what the name of it is. But
That
yeah,
joint
they're a
was
lot of
fun,
fun. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, well, Nick, we appreciate that. Anything going on in the chat? Any questions or anybody talking about VR stuff?
Yeah, so there's some people that are just kind of talking back and forth about their experiences with VR. Lex brings up that AG glasses. Yes, that is something as well. I forgot to mention about the PS5. It has external cameras on the headset, so they're experimenting with augmented reality instead of simply virtual reality. That could be cool. Some other people saying that the P4 is what got me hooked. What are we talking about here?
I guess the VR
Persona.
headset for the PS4, probably.
Like
the first
yeah,
PlayStation headset. Yeah.
Also, yes, my monitor is not cutting in and out. I'm switching in between tabs, and some are bright and some are dark. So sorry about that. All right.
Cool.
Nick, I think Xbox actually did have like a. It might not have been a VR. Never mind.
It was
They
the,
had
like
the
a little
camera.
motion
the
joint.
Move.
Yeah, the camera.
No, that was
It had the
PlayStation
camera.
Move. It was what the hell? I had one and I can't even remember what the name. And they had it back on the 360 too. They had like their shit early.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
remember what the hell the name of that thing was though. But I had it. Yeah, and it was awesome. But it wasn't like a VR headset. It was like a camera that went on your thing,
Yeah.
and then it could detect like your movements and stuff. So
Because you could do like gestures to turn your PlayStation,
Mm-hmm.
not your Xbox.
Yeah,
on, right?
you can
Yeah,
play
yeah, I
Just
remember.
Dance and stuff. Yeah.
yeah, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, we used to play Just Dance. Yeah, that was good times. Good times. Cool. All right. Well, thanks
Connect.
for sharing, Nick.
Connect.
The
Somebody in the
Xbox
chat threw
Connect.
it out there.
There you go.
Connect,
Appreciate that.
yes,
The
there it is with
Xbox
a K,
Connect.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the way back on the 360, bro. Like what a time to be alive.
What
I
a
know.
time, bro.
What a time to be alive. All right. Let's switch gears here. Ryan, I know you want to talk through some anime. So I'm super excited to hear what you got to say. Huge fan of anime. So what's up? What you want to share?
Do we
First
have
of
any
all, I
spoilers
wanna
here?
shout you out.
We
Now, all
might
right, so
we might
first,
have some Ryan, are we gonna have spoilers?
I haven't figured it out yet, and I'm gonna
Okay.
tell you why. Because I really want to dive into it, but at the same time, it's like typically when I dive into anime, I watch the season twice just to make sure, and I
Okay.
only watched it once, so
All right.
I don't
Well,
want to say anything. And be
I'm gonna
too
put the spoiler alert on the screen. Everybody sees it. It's flashing in and out now. So just everybody know potential spoiler alert coming. So if you're into anime and Ryan starts talking about something that you haven't watched yet, go ahead and mute. You know, we don't want to give anything away. But Ryan, go ahead.
Ooh, first of all, Justin, I do want to shout you out. You said shift some gears. You know, I'm a car buff, you know what I'm saying? So I'm kicking that motherfucker in the fourth gear. We hitting about butt 20 up on him, you know what I'm
Did
saying?
that for you,
Let's
brother.
get it. I appreciate that. Second of all, I'm a forfeit the chat. I keep looking down and dub or sub. Here's the thing. I watched this one in dub. And the reason why I watched this in dub is because like I wanted to be able to do other things while listening to it. But I am a sub guy. I will watch sub all day. I have the
Alright.
time. So I will tell you that. But anyway, hey, we're talking about 1,000-Year Blood War, Bleach. I wasn't big into Bleach when it first came out, and I will tell you now, this is something totally. I will tell you, this is like MA for sure, like TVMA for sure. It is like people getting their heads chopped off. I'm so mad because one of my better characters got his eye shot out. Like it's pretty bad.
Sounds
But,
a
hey,
little brutal.
Just you're gonna love it. No, you're gonna
Okay.
love it. So like the original Bleach, right, wasn't all about that. Like back then, early 2000s animes and stuff like that, they didn't do all that stuff. Like it was you barely got like some mature anime. Like I can't think of one that comes. I think it's Berserk. Berserk was pretty mature when it first came out, stuff like that. Bleach was.
Bebop has its moments.
Bebop did have its moments. You're exactly right, but it wasn't like
It's not.
Mature,
Yeah, it's
mature.
not. It's not
think,
like,
like, mainstream
Castlevania. Castlevania
Yeah.
is just like excessive.
exactly.
I love
you
it.
know what I'm saying? I'm here for it, right?
Yeah.
Right. When you think about like
Um,
mainstream anime in the early like 2000s, I think that's what you're saying. Like it wasn't really that
Correct.
graphic.
Sure.
And it made sense too because they were still trying to introduce and like bring
Right.
anime into the US fully. So they probably were like,
Right.
"Oh, we're going to tiptoe into this category." So,
Well, they needed
Right.
it to be on TV. They didn't need to be in trouble with the FCC.
yep.
That's true. That is definitely true. I think the biggest one was the biggest one I remember back in the early 2000s was I believe it was GT. I believe it was Dragon Ball GT when Future Gohan Trunks was going back and Future Gohan got his arm and he's like laying in the rain like dead basically because his eyes were all whited out and stuff and his arm got shot off. Like it was pretty weird when they fought the androids.
Yeah. That was still
that
Z.
was like
That was still Z.
was that Z?
That was still Z. It was
Okay,
a part of
either
like
way,
the future
either way,
timeline.
It was
but
bad.
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
bad. When I was a kid, I remember seeing that. It was like, oh my god, like I can't believe that happened. Somebody got their arm shot off. Oh my god! And now here it's like, old buddy did like a finger gun, bow, and all of a sudden you just see them dude's head explode. It was crazy, dog. Like it was sick. But one of the biggest things that I noticed with 1,000-Year Blood War, they got straight to it. It's only 13 episodes for the season. There's no fillers. Like I'm gonna tell you right now, back early 2000s, like anime stuff like that, full of fillers, and it's nothing like that. They get straight to the point. Now, does it stand alone, Justin? This is for you. I think you can watch it. I'm pretty sure you can watch it without having to watch the old Bleach. Now, granted, there's gonna be pieces of the story that's gonna have holes for you. Not big holes, but there's gonna be some people that are gonna reference you. I'm like, what? Because you never watched the first Bleach, right?
Right. I tried
Yeah.
watching it, but it was just like a little too slow. I think I probably started during a filler arc and I was just like, absolutely not. So
It's a slow burn, bro.
Yeah.
I promise you, it's a slow burn. It's not as slow as One Piece, but it's a slow burn. I'm telling you.
In One Piece, bro.
One
Still
Piece,
going.
man, I'm
I
telling
made
you.
it through like an episode and a half of that show. I was
Well,
like,
Hunter x Hunter is what I couldn't do. I couldn't even do the first episode of Hunter. So don't feel.
It started
Yeah.
off slow, but Hunter x Hunter gets really good. So
I mean, I hope so. But yeah, like no fillers, just 13 episodes straight. I feel like you're gonna enjoy it, Jay. It's like I said, it's not gory, but they boxing like every episode. Like,
that's all I do. You know me.
some
That's
way,
always
shape,
my
or
first
form.
question. Whenever Ryan recommends an anime to me, my first question to him is, do they get to boxing and how quickly? And depending on his answer depends on how high I put it on the list of when I need to watch it.
So let me tell you, first episode boxing,
All
and
right.
it's legit boxing. Like I said, somebody getting messed up like first episode, like dead serious. Now one of the bigger questions, and this is kind of to everybody, will it become a big three? And I'll be honest with you, I don't think so. Because the big threes are kind of heavy right now, right? My Hero, you got Demon Slayer. You can count Boruto as like the third if you want to really want three, and those carry themselves. And I don't think this is what this is supposed to be about, right? I'm thinking 3 seasons max, and that's about it. And again, like I don't know too much about the Thousand Year Mind, but the thing is like I don't think it's gonna carry us. My Hero has what? How many seasons? Like they have so many seasons. And right now that's going crazy right now with its arc. Demon Slayer is about to come out with a movie, the Swordsman's Village arc. Now I think that's going to be a dope arc because I remember that in the manga, amazing. And then Boruto, I haven't even kept up with Boruto. I saw some of the big fights, amazing. I feel like this is going to get straight to the point, and it's just going to, it's just going to end. I'm like, oh, Bleach, 1,000 Year Blood War, that was great. And the bigger thing is, I feel like it's going to be a step under Attack on Titan. And I mean, Attack on Titan is great. The reason why I'm saying that is it keeps pausing and doing breaks and all this stuff. Before you know it, you need to watch the whole season again just to catch up and remember what the heck happened in the first couple parts. I don't think this is what 1,000 Year Blood. They get straight to the point and that's it.
And that's okay.
So yeah, it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what you want. You only need like 2 or 3 seasons and I'm good. You don't need to drag it out like Attack on Titan.
Yeah, not every anime needs to be, 6, 7, 8 seasons, hundreds of episodes. Like if you can get what you need to get done in, 30, 40, 50 episodes, like I'm with it. So, but some animes do, like if My Hero Academia was only like 3 seasons, I'd be hurt because there's so much to tell in that story. So I'm with you on that. But I have heard good things about the Bleach 1,000 Year Blood War. So it is on my long list of animes that I need to catch up on, but I will check it out for sure.
You ain't gonna get that shit, bro.
I am gonna get it. I am gonna get to it, dog. I'm gonna get to it, bro. I got a long list of shows I gotta watch. So, Ryan, question for you. So when you think about, we were talking about like the early 2000s, like anime and stuff, and you were talking about like filler, different things like that. When I think about anime back then, I feel like it never ended, right? Like it was always ongoing. There weren't seasons. It was just the show just always aired, but it was full of a bunch of filler. Now you have where I feel like they've transitioned to doing the season format where there's not really a lot of filler, but you're only getting maybe 13 episodes a season or 20 episodes a season. And then you got to wait 6, 8 months or maybe with Attack on Titan years before you get the next season. So do you feel like we're in a better place with this new format? Do you feel like it's about the same and it's just, a different way that they're doing basically the same thing? I'm just curious on your thoughts on that.
I'll be honest with you. Like, I'm grown. I'm an adult now, so I don't have time to just sit and watch anime like all day and night. Like, I do other things, obviously, clearly. The only reason why I binged 1,000 Year Blood War is because I took days off. But in a general sense, like, I feel like getting straight to the point is where you need. Think about some of the filler in Naruto, right? Like, there was some filler arcs that went on for like ever, bro. And it's like, why do you need it? Was pointless, it was stupid. It was like a nice little side quest in an RPG. I don't need to do it, but I'm gonna do it just to pass time because I don't feel like getting to the main story.
Facts.
I've never been a fan of filler. Like DBZ had a few fillers, like Naruto was big on fillers, and I was never a fan of it. Sure, I mean, like when we were young on it, building up the anticipation. Like I remember my cousin like streaming Naruto on some website or whatnot. It was always subbed, and once we got to the filler, it was like, you know, I mean, shoot. Now it's like, man, get to the point. Like filler's stupid. Like it's not. I take that back. I'm so sorry, you guys. Whoever in the chat likes fillers, you can keep your fillers. Fillers are stupid. I'm not taking it back. Never mind. I lied. Fillers are horrible. Get straight to the point. We're grown adults. Like that's how I feel about it.
I'm with you on that.
Fillers are a big part of why I'm not like a big anime guy, because I'll be getting into something and I'm just like, okay, I don't have time for this. Like,
Yeah.
why are we going off on this?
I'm with you.
That's for sure.
I agree. I think that I like this new format better. I would say the only thing is when you were a kid, there was you were a little naive. Like I didn't learn what filler was until like way later. And it was just like, for me, it's just like, I'm just watching an episode of like Dragon Ball Z and it's awesome. Like I love, but like you said, now we're adults. We got other things that we got to do. So I do appreciate, give me my 13, 15 episodes, get to the point, tell the story that you need to tell, and like let's move on to the next season. So but I do hate waiting sometimes because it'll be so good and then you got to wait another like 6-8 months, but that's with any TV show that you watch currently. So Ryan, I know you said you were a sub guy. I am a dub guy. I believe somebody asked in the chat which one that I watch. I prefer dub because, as Ryan said, I need to be able to do other things sometimes. And not that I'm not fully paying attention to the show, but I don't know. And also, like, I don't speak Japanese. So, like, I like to be able to hear them talk in a language that I understand. So,
Nani?
exactly.
Like, I mean, think about it, man. That's the coolest thing.
Nah, I'm good. I feel like dub watchers are very like open, and we're just like happy that anybody's watching anime. We don't care how you watch it, just as long as we can talk about it. But there are some very judgmental like sub watchers out there, and they will look down upon you for watching dub. And I'm just like, bro, it's a show. Like, relax. So for all you sub watchers out there that are judgmental, like, get over it. It's not that big of a deal. Let me enjoy it the way I want to enjoy it, and then we can talk about it together. I just don't be looking down on me because I watched the dub.
You can't tell me you watch Naruto and when that motherfucker said Naruto Uzumaki, you're like, oh, cool.
I was, because I wouldn't even understood it in Japanese, so it was fine for me. To each his own. That's the way.
Naruto. Like,
that's the way that I feel.
Like,
that's the way that I feel about
authentic,
it. To each his own, bro. To each his own.
Yeah, all right, bro.
All right, what we got popping in the chat about anime? I know we got some big anime fans. So.
Yes. Lex and Despair have been very active in the chat. Despair says thoughts on Blood Sea. She said she feels like that was a pretty gory for its time. Blood Sea.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
I don't want to take up too much time, but YouTube Blood Sea, and like literally it's like a huge rabbit, like has like a bag of humans, like his hand turns a circ saw or whatever, and he just dumps his hand in the freaking bag and like starts churning humans, like making a slip. Yeah,
I'm good. I don't need all of that.
And that was on TV.
Man, you gotta watch that. Hey man, I never watched it. I don't know if it's on TV or what. You can look at it on Hulu. I know it's on. I told myself I might.
Oh, Ryan, you keep cutting out, dog. But yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of the ones that we're talking about are the ones that were on American TV. Like, obviously, there was a bunch of wild shit going on in Japan, especially back in the 90s. We only got really what was coming through like Cartoon Network and shit like that on our TV. So
Toonami, Adult Swim.
Toonami,
that
hey
was it.
man, Toonami.
Yeah,
Toonami was
Adult
like,
Swim.
man, that was like coming home after school, bro, and Toonami being on. I mean, you got Gundam, Zoids, Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, One Piece, like name it all, dude, man. Oh, what a time to be alive.
Man,
Seriously.
Cyborg 009, like, come on.
Mobile Fighter G Gundam was my shit. It was like the one show that me and all three of my siblings, all my two other siblings, all three of us could sit down and watch together and like not argue about what was on TV.
It did not age well, Nick. I will tell you that. I tried to go back and watch it.
Dude, it's trash. It looks so bad.
Yeah, I tried to go back and watch it like last year sometime, and I was like, I can't do this. So that was my favorite.
Fingers, man. Yeah, burning the reptile finger, man.
That was my favorite Gundam, and I'm just like, absolutely not. Some things just need to stay in the past. Like,
yep,
that is one of them.
I am with you on that one. Lex sounds like a big My Hero fan. She said she highly recommends. She says bringing the heat right now. Despair is attacked because it sounds like she's probably a sub elitist. So sorry, not sorry. Connor says, I still remember when they killed Tom on Toonami.
They
Was
killed
that the, like,
Tom?
robot dude in the spaceship?
They did not kill Tom.
Yeah, that was Tom.
They didn't kill Tom. I don't remember that.
I thought they replaced Tom, right? They didn't kill Tom.
They didn't
just
kill
replaced him.
my. Come on, man. That would have been a little brutal for like Team
Right.
TV. I don't think they killed him. At least I didn't hear of them. They didn't kill my
I
man
thought
Tom.
he
bro.
like flew off into something. Like he just flew off into space or something like that. Because it was like the ending of Toonami or something like that.
He said Google it. All right, I'm gonna Google it and
I got it. I got it.
Okay. They didn't kill Tom. Don't tell me they did my boy. Look how
Toonami.
they massacred my boy.
Side note, real quick,
Yes.
Jay, what kind of quirk would you have in My Hero?
You know, I'd probably get something stupid like what's the dude who can like shoot water out of his fingers and he kept my man's eyes from getting dry. I'd have something stupid like that. me and my brother talk about it all the time. Like I just know I would get a dumb quirk. I wouldn't even get anything like cool. Wouldn't even be able to be a hero.
Hey, I'll probably get like sharp fingernails or something like that, man. Sitting there clawing people. Like I feel like
Exactly.
that's what I would get.
Get something dumb. What's the word on Tom, Nick?
I'm trying to sort through this trash ass website, fighting off ads. Give me a second.
My man
Okay.
Tom.
Tom hosted Toonami alone until Sarah and the Clyde 50s were introduced during the first episode of the Toonami Total Immersion event, The Intruder, in September of 2000. After more than a year as host of Toonami, the original version of Tom met his end during the events of The Intruder when a mysterious red blob invaded the Absolution. What the fuck did Toonami have all this lore? Where did this come from? When Tom went to
Toonami lore.
investigate, the blob sent him flying out into deep space. After returning back to the ship, Tom attempted to destroy the blob, but his laser blaster was ineffective against it. Ultimately, the blob engulfed Tom inside an elevator and consumed him.
Okay.
However,
Oh.
this was not truly the end of Tom, as his consciousness and memories were transferred to a new body, and he was reborn as Tom 2. Tom 2 managed to banish the blob from the ship. I'm not going to sit here and read all. This is insane. This is absolutely
It
insane.
sounds like its own anime. Like it literally sounds like its own anime.
This whole fucking
I
thing.
need to see it. I need to see it.
But apparently, I guess Connor was right. They did technically kill Tom. He came back as Tom too. But Lex
Literally
said she
transitions.
Lex said we don't want her to get a superpower because she would be an instant supervillain. I agree. I 100% believe that if superpowers existed, it would go down exactly like The Boys. Like everything that happens in that show would totally happen in real life because let's be honest, most people are assholes, and if they had superpowers, they would just be bigger assholes. So
Yes.
yeah, I am 100% happy that we live in a world without superpowers. So big facts. All right. Well, I think that's our show for today. We talked about a lot, so we appreciate everybody coming out. Thank you so much for the support. Once again, don't forget to hit that follow button on Twitch so you'll never miss one of our live shows. Also, follow us on Twitter and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Again, the handles for both of those are at Spoiler Alert for you. And again, that's at Spoiler Alert, the number 4 and the letter U. If we spoiled something for you today, sorry, not sorry, because we're just talking about the things that we love. But spoiler alert, we love all of you, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks, y'all.
There it is. Appreciate it, y'all.